Hi, welcome to Boricua News of the Day. I'm your host, Wallyboy, Boricua, by way of New York City. Boricua News of the Day, for those of you that are just tuning in, is going to be everything Boricua, everything Puerto Rican, history, news, culture, arts and entertainment, you name it. Anything I pick up or I know or I see or I've heard about or I've studied or I've learned or I've researched, I will tell you. Okay? So let's get started here. A couple of things that I wrote down today that I was talking about. Incidentally, I'm going to recommend a good book after this at the end that you should definitely pick up and you should definitely read. Okay? So anyway, did you know that it was a felony under Public Law 53 to own a Puerto Rican flag or to even display one, put one in your house? Yes, it was. It was part of the colonization mentality. We were, and we still are, a colony. But back then, some people in the government, which you'll read in this book that I'm going to recommend, felt that Puerto Ricans were an inferior race and that they were diminishing the purity of the Anglo-Saxon race. Believe that shit? So anyway, they were trying to colonize the island by all kinds of ways. Another thing was that 10 years after they occupied Puerto Rico, 10 years after 1898, all classes, all public schools, all subjects, all teachers, everything was taught in English. After 400 years of them being taught in Spanish, knowing Spanish as their primary language, now all of a sudden, 10 years after this U.S. occupation, everything was taught in English. Tell me how difficult that shit was. But anyway, a couple other things here. Another statistic here. In 2008, Puerto Rico was the largest shipper of pharmaceuticals. 16 of 20 of the biggest sellers selling drugs in the United States were made in Puerto Rico. 16 of the 20. You believe that? A lot of money, man. A lot of money being made on the island. Don't let them fool you about this shit that we owe so much money to the United States and blah, 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 blah. They've taken a lot of money. We'll talk in some other episode about the Domino Sugar Company, which incidentally started and probably still is in Puerto Rico. I know that it started in Puerto Rico. I haven't researched it as to if it's still there or not. But anyway, we'll get to that on another episode. Basically, Puerto Rico was a military-based government till 1952. 1952, what happened then? 1952, Puerto Ricans finally elected Luis Muñoz Marin, which was the first Puerto Rican governor of the island. And thus, 1953, you were able to put your Puerto Rican flag up because it was no longer a felony. Okay? So, just a little tidbit there. A couple of things that I wanted to talk about in this episode. But the last and final thing I want to talk about is this book here. See this book here? War Against All Puerto Ricans. Look at it really good, okay? It's by Nelson Dennis. It's called Revolution and Terror in America's Colony. Revolution and Terror in America's Colony. Okay? So, please pick up this book. Read it. It's got a plethora of knowledge in it. And it's awesome. It really is. So pick it up, okay? Nelson Dennis, War Against All Puerto Ricans. Anyway, I'm Wallyboy. This is Boricua News of the Day, and I just want to say, Hueva!